Hey crafty cuties, welcome back to Paper Terrace. I am really wanting to use the items that I received in this journal kit by Magnolia Seed. This is the Bohemian Autumn journal kit. Okay, and if you wanted to see like everything she sent, I'm gonna have a link below where you can go check out the unboxing. I kind of wanted to challenge myself because I know what happens when I get kits. I kind of use a few things here and there, and a lot of times I just set things aside and forget about it, and I just can't do that with this gorgeous kit. So I'm challenging myself like right now. I don't really have a good idea. I know how I want to use up the tags for my Patreon mail, but I really want to be able to use up like a lot of these things. So we're gonna just go ahead and get started, and I don't know, I'm gonna make maybe a mini journal. This is one of the envelopes that some of the things came in, and I thought, why not just go ahead and use it? Okay, so literally I'm gonna try to go kind of fast here and just, I don't know, I just don't have an idea here, but I gotta get going. Okay, so I'm gonna cut some of this fabric so that I can cover the entire envelope here. Yeah, I'm thinking, let's see, maybe I can make like a little mini journal for November, and it would be awesome if I could get myself to do a small layout like every day or every other day in November and maybe write something I'm thankful for. I don't know if I'll be able to get to that, but that does sound like a fun idea, especially to like use up just really pretty supplies basically. Okay, I'm just gonna glue. This is a pretty thin fabric, so I don't exactly know, and I just kind of folded this in half, by the way, and I'm hoping that will work. And then, whoops, I want to collage on some of these really pretty fabrics and laces that came in the kit. And I don't know, there's like a card, there's some like pretty vintage cards and Polaroid photos that maybe could also look really pretty. Okay. Like I said, this fabric's really see-through, so I'm hoping this will work here. Okay, so I haven't done something like this in a long time, so I'm kind of like a bit nervous. I don't know why. I'm just doing this for me. Okay, I was also thinking about using some of these items in just like a journal layout, but I just felt like I probably wouldn't end up using too many of the gorgeous supplies, and so I thought, you know what, let's just go ahead and actually try to make like a project. I would like to do this more because this is the kind of creating that I really enjoy doing. Okay, let's see here. I'm trying to think how I want to fold this over. Maybe. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of trim right here and then right here, and I'm even gonna cut out like a little triangle shape just to help get rid of some of the extra fabric, and then I'll just glue along here so that I can fold this up as neatly as possible. Let's see here. I really love making journals, as do many of you, I know. But I just felt like after a while I was making so many and I can't keep up with using them all. And I do like selling my journals, obviously I do that once in a while, but sometimes like these journals that I'm making with kits and things, I love them so much that I want to keep them. I just don't like have a use for so many. And so I'm sure you guys have that same problem, but it got me thinking that, you know what, like it's okay to keep a handmade journal even if I'm not using it. It's really okay. But it's not like a small thing that's easy to store, so that is part of why it's hard to keep so many journals. Okay, so this fabric doesn't really want to stick down with this glue, so it looks like it will. I just need to kind of like give it some time. So Okay, for whatever reason, this fabric does not want to stick with this glue. I've never had that happen with this glue. So I grabbed my sewing machine real quick, not gonna let it stop me. And we're gonna go ahead and just sew around the edges, which I probably already would have been doing. I just didn't want to do it at this point. But we're gonna stick with it. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just trim around the envelope flap because I kind of wanted to keep the flap able to like be open and closed, so you could maybe put something inside that part. And then what I'll do is just sew around the flap itself. Okay. So now I'm gonna go ahead and layer on some other fabrics. Okay, so I'm trying to decide how much of this fabric do I want to use. Okay, I definitely, let's see. I don't know, there's other things I could collage on. My dog's going crazy. Nutsos. Okay, I'm just gonna start by cutting off like a strip and we'll just see. Maybe collage on some of the laces. This is such pretty fabric. It is really thin, so I'm wondering if I'm gonna have to sew it on as well. Okay, so maybe kind of like that. And then I think maybe I'll use the bottom portion of this lace. So there's lots of pretty papers I could collage with too, but it's like, what do I do? Okay, I think I'm just gonna start by sewing. We'll start by sewing this piece on. And I'm just gonna sew all the way around the piece of fabric. And I'm gonna do a zigzag stitch just for fun. So I was almost gonna sew across here, but if I do that, I guess I just won't have access to this pocket, although I could sew across here still and then have just like 2 pockets on the inside. I don't know, I might, let's go ahead and put this on and I'll decide what I want to do next. Okay, just kind of place it like that. I think maybe I will just go ahead and sew across and then I can still have 2 separate pockets. And I was just thinking something might be fun is to, if I can, make this journal like a tag journal, and it'll have pages in it, but it could strictly be for like decorated tags because I really like making tags a lot, so maybe, we'll see. I did decide to go ahead and just sew across. Instead of using the prongs here, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and take some of my Velcro dots here. Yeah, I think that'll work better. So, whoops, just put one. These are really small. Okay, and I probably will cover the inside too, so maybe I shouldn't put the Velcro dots down yet. Yeah, okay. Just try to leave that there like that. All right, so trying to see what this looks like now, fold it up. So I really like this Polaroid picture that came with the kit, and so I'm thinking that, or gosh, I really like that too. If I wanted this to specifically be like a tag journal, a place for tags, maybe the front should also have a tag. So let's make this a little bit shorter. Actually, I'm gonna rip it. We'll do that. And maybe I'll use one of these pretty napkins to kind of like decoupage. Trying to decide which one. I'm gonna go for this one. So I'm just gonna basically separate the very top portion of the napkin. I don't exactly want the pumpkin showing, but I think we'll be able to just use the other parts. Okay, so for this part, I'm gonna go ahead and just cover this in glue. And I'm gonna spread it out with my finger to smooth it out. My battery is blinking at me. No! If you want a good decoupaging, you definitely want to make sure to have a very even layer of glue. That will help out a bunch. And then again, just need the top layer, so sometimes you kind of have to pull apart carefully. And I might have ripped it a little bit, but I think we'll be okay. I guess the pumpkin will show, but that's okay. Maybe we'll figure it out. And just try to get it as straight as possible, but doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm just gonna trim around. Sadly, my camera was dying, and so I had to charge the battery. I didn't do too much though, guys. I just made this tag. So I used one of the napkins, a decoupaged, or just glued it right onto the tag, layered on some of the vintage paper. I used this card and some of the trim, and the sticker was in the kit as well. So everything here was in the kit, and I did glue this down. I'm hoping that will work so I don't have to sew through here. So we'll check back in just a bit here. Okay, so now we have the cover mostly done, and let's see, I kind of quickly want to maybe cover the inside, and then I really want to keep this simple and just put some book pages in here so that we can go ahead and finish it up. Okay, let's see here. I think I'm just gonna go ahead, and I don't usually keep the inside covers like this simple, but for this one we will. This is some really cool paper. I actually hate to rip this, but hey, I want to be able to use it. Oh yeah, and I want to put this bead somewhere on here, so let's go ahead and go like this. I was thinking about using some of the trim also for like a closure, but maybe we can just wrap it around the journal. I think that will work just fine. Okay, so we'll just go like that. So yeah, I think the book pages are just going to be the pages that came in this kit, and we will fold them in half and call it good. I think we'll just finish that off with this paper right here. Okay, and then since I really liked the, oh gosh, I'm wondering if I should keep this and use it for something. Yeah, maybe I will. I just really like that. But there was another really cool one. That was this. And I was thinking I could put it right here and glue it on as a pocket. Yeah, I think we'll go for that. So I'm just gonna glue on the side and the bottom here. I could actually go ahead and sew that on, so maybe I'll do that real quick here. Just gonna sew like that. So now for the book pages. This is looking really cool. Okay, so I'm just gonna gather and figure out how many pages I want. And we're just gonna simply fold them in half. Like I said, it's gonna be really simple, but I think it's gonna look really cool. And that's almost the perfect size there. Let's see. awesome. I think we'll be able to go ahead and just fold these in half. So I think I'm gonna do like 8 because folded in half, that's going to give us 32 pages. So that's enough for if I did something for every day out of a month or something like that. I think that would be plenty. I forgot that she included these metal book corners too, which would have looked really cute on this, but since I have the flap, that's not really gonna work. But there are buttons and so many more fun things that I could use to decorate this, but we just gotta finish it for now. We can always come back and decorate later. So I have 8 pages folded in half. And so I think I'm just gonna do this really simple. Pull out my awl, get a needle, and I will also use the thread that she included. And I'm just going to measure 3 times the height here. And there's still so much extra. Okay, and I'm just going to thread the needle. And, let's see here. So, yeah, like I said, I want to keep this simple, so I'm just going to, I guess I will punch the holes first. I'm just going to kind of just eyeball this, and I'm going to punch a hole like somewhere in the middle. And then I will come up to the top, but not the very top, maybe like half an inch down from the top. And then same. And I can see my fold marks, which is how I can see where the center is, if you are wondering. Then, I could have done this probably a different, easier way, but that's not how I work. I'm just gonna take a pencil here. And I'm just gonna mark where those holes are. I just didn't want to make a template. I really just didn't want to. And then I'll just go ahead and not even gonna hold these together with anything other than my hands. And then I'll just poke the holes where I marked it. Should be okay. I just realized some of my pages are upside down, but that's okay because we're going to be covering these up. All right, eventually, or that's the plan. So I'm just going to go in from the center here, out like that. And I'm just going to make sure not to pull that all the way through. And then I'm going to come up to the top hole and hope that it lines up pretty good with my pages. Should be okay. And these are really thin pages, so I probably didn't really even have to pre-punch the holes, but it does help. Okay, and then down to the bottom. And there. This was honestly a pretty quick journal. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it so quick because the thing is with these kits, there's just so many nice, cute, pretty pieces, and it's hard not to want to use everything and kind of go overboard. Or it's not really overboard, it's just hard not to use everything. But I am excited that I was able to at least make something rather than just not, because I was overwhelmed with too much. This turned out so cute, and so now let's see, I think I want to maybe put this, and she made this within the kit here, if you can see this boho bead. I kind of want to put this on the top here, and I'm just going to try to poke it through the top, kind of like a charm on the spine of a journal, and that should work fine. There, yep, that is so cute. Perfect. So there we go. I hope that you guys liked to see this. I feel like I don't do this as much as I wish that I did, and so I think I'm going to take some of this trim and then also use it just to tie around a really simple little closure. I am excited to continue using the pieces from this kit, and I hope that I can start doing this more with kits that I get so that you can actually see something being made that's, you know, not too overwhelming, and my dog is just going crazy. So we are gonna stop here, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.